I'm Tyler Johnson, and I will be providing training in regards to political similarities and differences within an interorganizational collaboration. At this point in our lesson, it's important that the introduction video and course quiz have been viewed before I continue on with this particular part of the lesson. These tools will ensure that the basics of the topic are understood and a general understanding has been created. When interorganizational collaboration is taking place, it's important for both groups to be in sync. When two organizations are operating under the same level of respect, it's a lot easier for decisions to be made. Therefore, tasks can be completed efficiently and correctly. Language is a very important factor that determines how well two parties will work together. It's also important to use language that represents a dialogue versus a debate. A dialogue can be performed by using open-ended questions that are one way that the language can be used to be inclusive. In a dialogue, it is important to practice effective listening as well, actually paying attention to what the other party has to say, listening to them, and then formulating a response to what the person has said. This is how you create an open dialogue that will allow for a fair representation of both opinions. The opposite of this would be waiting for the party to finish speaking and not listening to what they're saying, just waiting for them to finish what they have to say until it's your turn to speak. This would represent a debate and does not necessarily allow for any inclusive conversations to occur. When discussing politics in the workplace, it's easy to fall into a debate form and not fully listen to what the other party is attempting to communicate to you. So for a proper collaboration to occur, it is important for both parties to practice effective language and communicate within the role of a dialogue. If possible, it's advantageous for both groups to completely avoid politics in the workplace unless it's absolutely necessary. Here's some tips for avoiding as well as addressing political issues within an interorganizational collaboration. For avoiding a political discussion, stay on task as much as possible. Focus on the work that needs to be completed and the job that needs to be done. Making sure that each organization is aware that there may be differences politically, but they're not necessarily important for the collaboration. This goes back to staying on task. For removing yourself from a political conversation, it's easy to simply change the subject and move on if there's a way to do this. Whether the topic is changed to something work-related or completely off topic, doesn't really matter. This will at least diffuse the situation so that you can move on and stay professional. Being a professional also includes staying focused. So if someone's out of line, it's important to make a point of being disciplined and stating that they should stay on topic as well. If each organization can communicate to their employees or team members the importance of professionalism and staying on task, the distractions of any political issues should never even come up. But we're all human, so it's most likely someone will slip up at some point and attempt to bring some sort of political debate into a conversation. So this is why it's important to also teach your team these lessons so that they know how to handle a wide variety of problems related to politics in a workplace. So if we take a slight dive into the rabbit hole that is communication, we'll realize how insanely large the amount of variables that communication consists of. And as people, it's important to understand that there are many cultural differences that are not involved. that are involved with communication. When dealing with other organizations in a collaboration, you're likely to come across different cultures and ideas. These differences will most likely lead to different political views as well, and especially when doing collaborations with other countries, this is most likely going to occur. All of these variables must be studied and understood by both groups, because if both sides have an understanding of each other, things will run much more smoothly. Sometimes the media that people are exposed to will also change their view of the world around them, and this can happen both consciously and unconsciously, and it can have a range of effects depending on the type of media that they are exposed to. So taking the time to research not only business partners, but employees and clients you may come in contact with is important for a efficient and well-run collaboration. Putting forth the effort to get to know who you're working with also shows more professionalism and passion for what you do. This will represent your organization as a whole as being focused on excellence and the tasks at hand. If these steps are taken, you and your team should understand how to be inclusive to all political views within an organization and other organizations that you may be collaborating with. And this understanding of other political views will help you to be inclusive to other cultures, as well as maintaining professionalism. Thank you.